Hey everybody, it's your girl PC and DC. Thanks so much for clicking on this video and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Well, in today's Garden Series 2023, we're going to talk all things peas, corn, and carrots. Yeah, I'm sure you can see by now, my little summer backyard garden kept me busy all summer long. I knew better when I put these sugar snap peas down in some soil this summer because sugar snap peas are primarily a fall crop. In other words, they are a cool weather plant. And although they did okay, they didn't last very long. The hot sun burned all of those little leaves and they just dried up crispy. They don't like the heat. They don't like a lot of sun. If I had longer shade covers, I probably would have been able to protect them a little bit better, but they didn't last very long at all. And so total, I may have grown maybe a half a cup to maybe 3/4 of a cup of sugar snap peas, but it'll be better when I put some more seeds down in the fall. Out of all of my summer garden vegetables that I've grown, the corn probably gave me a great deal of stress actually, because they grew so quickly. I was inspired to grow corn, one, because my grandmother loves it. So I wanted to grow some for her, some fresh backyard corn with no pesticides. And then I saw a house maybe a few streets over from mine that has corn in the front yard, almost like an ornamental plant. It was beautiful. Somebody over there, whoever it is, they actually had, I think I counted maybe 36 stalks in the front, clustered all around their front yard. It was absolutely beautiful. And I thought, if that person can grow some corn, I can do the same. So I took some seeds. I bought some seeds. I used the white silver queen variety because grandma likes white corn. And I put those in some water bottles earlier this spring. They were the first to pop up. They were the tallest and they were the hardest to keep from falling over and breaking because they grew so quickly indoors. Once I got them outside and I got them planted, they really took off. Here's the crazy part. I did zero research. I knew nothing about growing corn. I didn't do any research at all. I just put the seeds down and hope for the best. Those little red things you see hanging off that looks like little shingles or whatever, those are seeds. And what those are supposed to do with the wind's help is fall down on the silks once the silks form. And that's how corn is fertilized. That's how you start the formation of an ear of corn on the stalk. So I didn't wait for the wind because I didn't have very many stalks. So I took a few of those. I scooped some up in my hand, those little red shingle things, and I sprinkled them down on the silks right there, the little blonde, it looks like hair. I took the red seeds and put them there, and I grew probably, I'm going to say maybe 12 ears in total. I had 6 stalks of corn and I planted 8, and yeah, so only 6 germinated. And I lost a few. I waited too late to try to find out when I was supposed to harvest. I had so many people telling me, you wait until August, and that probably would have been the most accurate had I remembered the exact date when I put them down, when I actually planted them. But I have since learned from the gentleman who lived in the house with all the corn in his front yard that corn takes pretty much 2.5 months. So about 75 days before you have a fully formed ear of corn. Now, although I harvested 4, I lost the others because, again, they stayed on the stalk a little bit too long, but I will know better next time. I ended up harvesting these a little early, but that was okay for me because I'd rather harvest early instead of losing them. You know, I'll take a few small ears and I still call that a win. A win is a win because I actually grew corn for the very first time. So there on video, I have myself harvesting the corn for the first time and then opening it up to reveal how beautiful and how perfect it is. I wish it had stayed on maybe another week or two. It would have been perfect. But to me, that was amazing, and it was sweet as candy. I'm definitely going to grow more corn next summer. Can't wait. And next up is carrots. Now, the carrots that you see here in this video, I did not plant them this spring. These are carrots that I planted back in fall 2022. But for whatever reason, conditions, they weren't happy. They grew very slowly. So from fall 22 all the way through the winter, they were super small. I just left them there. I've seen and watched videos and did a lot of reading on how it's actually okay to overwinter root vegetables and that it actually enhances the sweetness the colder it is. But by the spring of 2023, the carrot stalks on top, they started to grow, and I was getting excited thinking I was going to have a nice, lush harvest of fresh homegrown carrots. And then the summer heat rolled in. Once the summer sun hit the carrots, they stopped growing again. And there you can see it even started to bolt. So by this time, these carrots have been underground in that bin for probably just a little under a year. So I decided to go ahead and harvest. I knew what I was going to get was going to be something small. You can just tell by the size of the carrot tops, the greens on top. But I was by this time really ready to just go ahead, clear out the bin, turn the soil, add a little more enhancements, and put down some more seeds for fall 23. So that's what I did. I harvested what I could get and then just started over. One thing I can say about the carrots, though, they must be planted in soil that's loose, soil that's nicely aerated. It can't be heavily packed because, once it rains and that soil gets heavy with water, it really will restrict growth. You will have small carrots, and I'm thinking that's probably where I went wrong with this particular harvest. The soil was just too heavy, too compacted, and those little roots could not stretch out. So what I need to do is add some more of my pistachio shells as soon as I get some more. So I'm going to add some shells to the soil before I start again. And I haven't said much about my rain catchers, guys. You all like those? They have been just the biggest, oh my gosh, enhancement to the yard. It's nice to be able to water my garden with some rainwater. I can wash my hands when I'm finished and even rinse off some vegetables. So I'm really glad I got those. I was going to share the Amazon information where I ordered them from, but the vendor, I only purchased one, but the vendor sent me two and charged me for two. So I decided not to share that info. So when we're talking peas, corn, and carrots, what else is there to do except, you guess it, prepare a one-pot meal? This go round, guys, I did beef stew, and I used the fresh produce from my garden and some of the produce that I purchased. Again, like I've been saying all along, this summer has been extremely hot, and growing anything actually has been a lot of work. I've been listening to a lot of homesteaders on YouTube and on IG, following a bunch of them and just listening to their stories. And everybody's kind of moaning about the same thing, about just how hot it was and how difficult growing was this go around, and how everybody had to use shade cloths and cover to keep the sun from burning up leaves. Can't have a plant without leaves, and the sun was just hard on leaves, y'all. So if you're growing and you're noticing a lot of crunchy leaves, invest in a shade cloth. I didn't share, but I actually went to a local thrift shop because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, and I bought some sheer curtains. I got 4 curtains for about, I don't know, $6, and I draped them on top, and it was just enough protection, just enough covering from the sun to help protect my leaves. So that was a good investment, a good little $6 investment for the garden. So I'm making a little cornstarch to thicken my broth, and there it is. It was delicious, guys. Eat what you grow.